Spectral Shield Throw build variations are extremely popular in Path of Exile 3.15 Expedition League. There are all sorts of more complex elemental damage based SST builds that the experts wreck tier 16 Atlas maps with. And then there are very fun and powerful yet simpler physical damage based SST builds, one of which I would like to offer you today as this little preview. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Gyro and I make my own and test others Path of Exile builds for their levels of fun and suitability for general beginners of the game. I am not an expert and I don't min-max my builds, prioritizing ease of play, gearing and fun of those builds for me and others. If this sounds like your kind of attitude, please subscribe to the channel and like the video to not miss out on any of my future builds and to show your support. It is very much appreciated. So today we are looking at a rather basic yet still powerful version of a physical damage Spectral Shield Throw Gladiator that relies most heavily on bleed effects, high block chance and life pool. This is a build in progress and this Gladiator is only around level 50, as I think I've definitely had now a proper taste for this build and where it is taking me, while not over-investing my time too much before I decide if I want to spend actually more time on this build or switch over to something else. As I said, having fun is more important to me than a sense of end-game progression. So as far as the preview of the build is concerned, I do like it a lot, so far anyway. And why would I recommend it to you? Well, first of all, because damage numbers, stacking from Spectral Shield Throw ability itself, and the multiplied bleed effect supporting it seem to be scaling very nicely and making me feel a lot more powerful than, for instance, the very recently reviewed Explosive Concoction build that started feeling a little lackluster towards the end game, which is one of the reasons why I decided to switch over to this particular build and suspend my work on Explosive Concoction until better days when the numbers are adjusted by the developers a little bit. Secondly, Spectral Shield Throw bounces from one enemy to another, effectively having the chain effect built into it, which counts for a lot in my opinion. It is fun to use and yes, it does remind you of Captain America's shield throws or, which is closer to home for me anyway, of a World of Warcraft Protection Paladin and the Avenger's shield ability. Now that I'm not playing WoW, any fond memory of what I used to enjoy there a lot is always a welcome sight. Third point here is that this is my first properly tanky build and it does feel very different and good in its own way. I still need to stay on the move and dodge the most powerful boss abilities if I want to live, but this build clearly can take a lot more punishment than pretty much any of my previously tried builds. Bleed effects themselves seem very powerful and bring down the toughest of enemies relatively quickly, while ticking on them for a ton of accumulated damage thanks to the multiple applications of bleed effect from Crimson Dance passive skill, a little preview for you, letting me run around and reposition myself, dodge attacks if I have to, while the damage is still ticking on. This is one of those cases where damage over time wins over direct damage output that might not be always possible. So if you're interested in this build and in me covering a lot more of it, every detail of it, first of all, please do like the video right now, as this is still the best way for me to know that you are interested in this and support this particular development. I take these things into account when I plan my future content and when I prioritize what I want to cover for you. Plus, I simply appreciate the friendly support from my people and the well-wishing passers-by. Since this was just a little build in progress preview rather than a full guide, this is where I'll actually thank you for tuning in and watching this video, encourage you to subscribe to the channel one last time, and I'll talk to you next time about something else Path of Exile or general gaming related. Please enjoy a few more minutes of this build showcase. Thanks again and bye for now.